We pause this programming during our regularly scheduled airtime to bring you a Lumpen Radio special. The following broadcast may feature a range of conversations, interviews, performances, and more. Please remain seated and enjoy the show.
This is WLPN LP Chicago 105.5 FM Lumpen Radio. In this episode of Lumpen Specials, we're here marking the 30th anniversary of one of Chicago's most beloved creative institutions, Busy Beaver Buttons, the legendary button and merch company that's been sticking around since 1995. A little bit about Busy Beaver from me and not the person sitting right next to me. Founded in Bloomington, Indiana, and settled in 1998 in Chicago, Busy Beaver has become a staple of the button community. Masterminds behind the Button-O-Matic vending machine and hosts of the Busy Beaver Button Museum. Let's dive deeper into how this empire was built. My name is August Abatang, and I have the pleasure of being here in this very special radio interview with none other than Christen Carter of Busy Beaver Button Co.
Thank you. It's so sweet. What a nice intro.
How are you today, Christen?
I'm great. I'm so excited to talk to you.
What's the itinerary for today? What did you get up to?
I didn't do a ton of stuff today. I went into work. I'd worked out, went into work, and then came down here. Oh, and I stopped and ate a Maxwell burger.
Nice. Let's just catch the audience up on what we've been talking about for the past 10 minutes, I guess.
Okay.
Can you tell our audience how Busy Beaver Co. got started?
Yeah. So I started Busy Beaver when I was in college, and I was doing like a work in England program. So I was living in London, and I worked. I was waiting tables and all day, and then I'd go out to shows pretty much every night. There might be like one night a week I didn't go out, and so it just became friends with lots of people in music and otherwise. And one night I went out with my friend Wyndham, who. We went to see Cynthia Plastercaster speak with Jamie Reed. And Jamie Reed was a graphic designer, and he's the one who made safety pins, like a punk like graphic design element. And so they were both speaking, and Cynthia Plastercaster's from Chicago. So it was just like it was nice to see like that combination there. But anyhow, I met Mark Pawson, who was making buttons, like little 1-inch, they call them badges over there. And I was like, no one's been making like the little 1-inch buttons since I was like a teenager going to record stores. That's the size that I always like wore. That was like my number one. So he's like, yeah, if you want me to show you how to make buttons, I will. So I was like, okay. So I went over and he showed me how to make buttons. That's kind of like the initial, like, how the idea was like even put into my mind.
At the time, it was like the button press as well.
Yeah. So when I came back, I went to the library, and this is before this stuff was on the internet. So I went to the library, looked through the Thomas Registry, which is just like a big white pages or it's like a big directory for manufacturer and industrial equipment or any of that kind of thing. So I went through that. Would write down all the phone numbers for all the button machine makers, go home, make a long distance call, and finally found a button press. But everyone was saying, oh, no one's making 1-inch anymore. And I'm like, this sucks. But then it's also ended up being good because it was really hard to get the first machine. And so then less people were probably getting into that game. That's the only reason why it's good. So then I got a machine, and then well, I guess I should back up because I had a customer first. Mm-hmm. And that was the reason why I got the machine. But so I had become friends with, when I was in London, actually Wyndham again worked for Guided by Voices over there. And so I'd go see them play all the time. We even went to, a few shows out of town, kind of followed them because he was doing press and stuff for them. And so got to know them, and it was just so much fun. It was so much fun. Just like staying out, drinking beer, chatting, you know. So when I came back to college, before I got my button machine, I went to see them play. My parents lived not too far from Dayton. I saw them play a couple shows, and they're like, and Bob Poller was like, "What are you going to do now that you're back?" And I'm like, "Thinking about starting a button company." And he said, "We'll be your first customer if you do it." But he was excited. He was like, "Oh, the little 1-inch punk buttons." I was like, "Yes, that's what I'm doing." So,
since that started, have you seen a rise in popularity of the 1-inch button?
Yeah, I mean, especially when I first started, because no one was making it. It was like, you know, part of the 90s DIY scene, and no one was really making them. So a lot of you know, popular small bands were ordering from us. So it was a lot of K Records and Kill Rock Stars, and even like Sub Pop, like, you know, it was a little smaller then, and oh gosh, so many Mr. Lady Records. There's a lot of like kind of just really cool labels and bands. And it even got to a point, I think in 1998, where, you know, Napster, do you know about Napster?
Oh, yeah.
So Napster, somebody there called me and like, "Hey, we want you to make our buttons because you make all the cool bands, or all the bands' buttons, and we want to go through you," which was just funny because that's like right at the time where they were getting all that press with Metallica and stuff.
So through that, were you also meeting the bands that you were making the buttons for too?
Yeah, not always, but a lot of it was mail order. So people would physically send in a piece of paper with their artwork. I'd scan it, print it out. You know, it's like pre-email for some of this, and send like $25 in cash or a check or whatever. And yeah, so I didn't. It was mail order, and I was living in Bloomington, which was like people would come through, but it wasn't like a lot of people came through. And then I moved to San Francisco after that. And so I got to meet a lot more bands that we worked with. So, yeah, I definitely, and then if they'd come through town, I'd drop off buttons, you know, and like, yeah, it was really fun. And I was in a band too before, and I guess during too. So I was always, I don't know, out either we'd be playing or going to shows.
That's so cool. Well,
Yeah.
What was your band called?
It's kind of a novelty band, kind of garagey, but it's called the Budget Girls. It's kind of.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's really funny. It was my best friend Terry and me, and we were just goofing off, really.
What'd you play?
Anything I say will be air quotes. So I sang and played the bass. I never learned how to sing and play the bass at the same time, and I never really learned how to play the bass. But that's how we wrote the songs. on the bass.
I love that. It's hard. It's hard to play the bass and sing at the same time.
Okay, thank you.
No, I want to validate you there.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate it.
It's hard as hell. You were doing this. You started in your dorm in Bloomington,
Yep.
Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
and you said you moved to San Francisco. What caused you to move to Chicago?
Well, I moved here for, a boyfriend, and then, but both my brothers lived here, so I was like, yeah, I'll move. You know, this is our compromise. But it ended up that relationship didn't really last. But I'm so glad that I stayed. I love that I moved here. I love it so much, and I love the communities that we have, and just the vibe of the city.
So once you moved here in 1998, you never moved anywhere else?
No, I've only lived in 2 apartments since I've lived here too.
Oh, wow.
So.
What's your favorite neighborhood of Chicago?
Favorite neighborhood. Ooh, I mean, I live in Logan Square, so it'd be bad for me to say anything else. But I mean, I don't know. I love that there's so many and they're different. So it's like you can stay in town and feel like you're on vacation a little bit just by going to like Rogers Park or you know anywhere. So I used to go to a lot of record stores down, like in Beverly and out by Midway and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's cool. There's a lot of options here.
Very true, very true. Well, in 3 decades, much has changed about, I guess, the world everywhere, you know? But Busy Beaver, it seems like it stays strong. What's the secret?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, what is the secret? I don't know. I mean, I do love it, so there's that.
Mm-hmm.
And in times where it doesn't feel as easy, it's like the fact that I love it really helps, because otherwise I'd be like, whatever, you know. And what is the secret? I mean, I'm what they call like a bootstrapper, which means I don't take loans out. Like I just, money that I earn, I put back into the business to grow. And so I think keeping things like sustainable, like financially, is probably a big part of that, you know. Like I own the building that we're Busy Beavers in, and that's kind of part of my retirement plan, you know. So yeah, I think, you know, you never know if it's going to be a big year or not always, you know, for sales.
Did you have, like, would you call it, in the 3 decades, did you have eras of your business? How would you describe it?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the first 10 years, I was just always trying to keep up. And then after 10 years, I learned that there's this program at DePaul University for business owners, and it was, you know, it's helping learn concepts of business, basically. Mm-hmm. And I loved it. Like, I loved it so much, because I would always just say, for years, I'd be like, we're just having growing pains. But then there are ways to kind of there are ways to not repeat the same mistakes over and over. And there's concepts that are well proven in, like, you know, ways you read your books, like your financials and stuff. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that these were things that I could pay attention to. I just thought I was making buttons, you know. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would say that first 10 years was like a first era, because it was a lot of me just like hiring my friends and just trying to keep up, you know, and then once I got into maybe another era, was learning all of this and like starting to build more of a community of fellow business owners, and like, yeah, and, you know, hiring people I didn't know before, you know, and stuff like that. And then I would almost say another era would be pandemic and after. Mm-hmm. So, because that was such a world shaker for me and for the business, and we really had to change things. Like, no one was having events in that first like year or so, and buttons are pretty related to events. So that was one of the reasons why we started making stickers in addition to buttons, which has grown. It's like it's a big product for us now. And so we brought all the sticker production in-house, which has been really fun. And we've been able to be as like good at stickers as we are with buttons, which was like the goal, you know.
I read too that you had started making stickers too. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like I read a quote. I think y'all said like stickers and buttons are siblings.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines.
Yep.
That being said, what's your opinion on the Pel pins?
That being said, so I would say they're also cousins, or they're siblings. They, I like them. I think they're cool, and they serve a similar function. They're more expensive, mm-hmm. and they take longer to make. And there aren't really lapel pin makers in the U.S., so almost everything is made in China with those. So those are like the pros and cons. I mean, the pros, they're cool, you know, and you can, it's like the enamel just looks really great. Yeah. So I think they're friends for sure, but they're like maybe more distant cousins than siblings.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they take themselves a little serious, you know?
Yeah, and then people, like, if someone has a bunch of buttons made and they want to sell them as merch, it's like a $1 or $2 thing. I mean, people can sell more, but enamel pins is like at least $10.
True.
You know, so it's like they might make a little more money on those too. Yeah.
How about brooches?
Oh, also a fan of brooches. I mean, I like them all because they all allow people to express themselves, you know, and it's different than a T-shirt because it's a thing you can put on anything, you know. So yeah, I mean, that's like fine. That can be like fine jewelry or costume jewelry, whatever it is. But it's I like them. I like them.
Guess the Busy Beaver stamp of approval.
Yes,
pin of approval.
Yeah, exactly.
Are there other like ventures other than stickers that you like experimented with or plan to experiment with?
Yeah, well, in the past, like maybe within the first year, I started doing rubber stamps because, you know, people were making record covers with rubber stamps, and like I like that Flexus art, you know, where it's like, where, you know, people would mail art, like do mail art and stamp the outside and stuff like that. And then now, I mean, we do venture into enamel pins, but we job them out. We have a partner that makes them, and we can package them for people and stuff like that. It just, so many people started asking us for stickers and enamel pins. We're like, let's just figure it out, and, you know, so we can make our customers happy, you know. And then venturing in the future, we're doing more merch. So we're kind of we are slowly rolling out different things. So right now, we're doing more with we're expanding our sticker line. We do like bumper stickers and also like sticker sheets and stuff like that. So but in the future, we're just going to keep adding as it makes sense. We're not going to like go all out all of a sudden.
Makes sense, yeah. That's really cool. I really like how the customer input has kind of influenced the direction of your business.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that experience?
Yeah, I mean, I love that because we just like our customers, and we want to be a good partner to them, you know, and we want to like. I feel like there are things that they appreciate about us that are like, you know, that we're responsive and we care about quality and making sure that things arrive on time, and that we care a lot about what they're trying to do, because like anybody who's ordering any of these things has a message that they want to share, and they want to share it with these little items, you know, that they've thought about the graphic design and what the message is. And I just like, I can get really lofty about this stuff, but it's just like, it's kind of like the sacred work we do. This is the lofty part, where it's such an honor to be able to help people build community and share what they're trying to share, you know? So, yeah, I don't know if that totally answers your question. But,
no, I think so.
Okay.
I like the mutual respect.
Yeah.
That comes with it. And something you mentioned too was that you, when we were talking about the eras, you said that a good portion of the work of Busy Beaver was to build community too.
Yeah.
In what ways have you fostered community?
Yeah, I mean, we've always like, you know, what do we do? I mean, we do, like, we've had so many parties. We've had some, like, political campaigns, like, do fundraisers at our space. You know, we do a lot of, like, donations. And, you know, we've had, like, a really great partnership with Yola Cali over the years, where we did the Button-O-Matic with Yola Cali. And, you know, I go to their fundraising parties, and we featured Yola Cali as part of our 30th. Like, we gave these little stickers out with all of the orders. That was a pizza-themed sticker, as you could imagine.
The classic. I also seen on the website, y'all have that little shout-out there.
Yeah.
On one of the photos.
So, like Yola Cali is such a great example because it's just, like, one of the best. I love what they do, and you all do, like, it seems like it allows the kids to explore, and it seems like to really give a great space for that. That's really fun. So it's like awesome, and I love being part of that, even as small as we are. But yeah, that's part of it. I mean, we do open our doors to organizations to come and use it sometimes, the space. But, for the party, I know it's a fundraiser for Greater Chicago Food Depository, so that's like another example too.
Mm-hmm. To the listeners, you'll hear more about that in the coming hour. I wanted to know, I feel like this is a hard question to answer. What is, in your opinion, the most important button you've ever made?
Oh my gosh. I struggle with superlatives. So the most important button, I mean, Planned Parenthood is very close to my heart. So as from a 16-year-old till, my 20s for sure. So, and still now. So I would say I love those I love working with Planned Parenthood. It's just like, with women's health, especially when you're younger, or for me when I was younger, it was just, I don't know. I think they saved my life. So that's the reason too.
Through working with them through Busy Beaver,
I had like cervical cancer, and they found it before it was serious. And so
shout out Planned Parenthood.
Shout out to Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. When was that you worked with Planned Parenthood through Busy Beaver?
We have for so long. I'm trying to think like when that started, but maybe like 20 years ago. And now we do a lot of the different branches around the country.
Oh, wow. So, that's awesome.
So, yeah, it's great. And like sometimes they need design help, so our designers will design these just like cool stickers and buttons for them.
That's cool. I didn't know that was a service y'all offer.
Yeah, we have 2 designers on staff.
Oh, wow. And I was reading in one of your interviews, I believe it was in 2018. At the time, y'all had like 9 full-time.
Okay.
And let me see. Okay, to keep the ball rolling here.
Yeah.
How big is your staff now?
Well, we full-time, I'd have to sit and count, but something like 11. Part-time, at least another 11.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then we have that's another great kind of community we have, is that people will come in and help who used to work there. So, like, even right now we have this huge order that's kind of a rush. So, over the weekend, like several people who haven't worked there in like a year came in and pressed some buttons. It's awesome. That's because my brother, pretty much, like he's the director of operations, and so yeah, everyone likes working for Joel.
Why is that?
He's just very light, like he keeps things really light, and he knows what needs to get done. So I think that, and he knows how to do it. So I think that, and he's very clear about what needs to, he just can say, this 10,000 buttons need to be made today. What 3 or 4 people are we going to get to make them, So he's able to be flexible with people too, He really cares about the people that work there, like a lot. So
I love that. I could tell you do too.
I do. I love everybody so much.
How about we take a real quick break? We're going to listen to the song we had in the beginning, which is Traction by the Trenchmen. And then after that, we'll listen to a song from Sharp Pins, Oh, a Good Friend.
Nice.
After that, we'll be right back with Christen Carter. This is WLPN LP Chicago 105.5 FM Lumpen Radio. You're listening to WLPN LP Chicago 105.5 FM Lumpen Radio. You're listening to Lumpen Radio Specials. This here is a special about Busy Beaver Button Co. And I'm here in conversation with Christen Carter. Welcome back. How's it going?
Great. I really hope we can talk about Klaus Nomi at some point.
last half hour, you mentioned Yollocalli. And would you like to tell a story? We've actually met before.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. About 10 years ago, Yollocalli came to the Button Museum because we were doing a Button-O-Matic, special series with them. And there was this one kid who came over. Everyone was so awesome, but pointed out to this button in the Button Museum, which is just a silhouette of this pretty obscure German musician named Klaus Nomi, and immediately he was like, ooh, Klaus Nomi, and did like this little dance or a little movement, and I was like, wow, like how does this kid know who Klaus Nomi is? And was able to recognize from that button. But that little child is now August, who's a grown man.
I didn't know that I would go down in the annals of Busy Beaver history as the Klaus Nomi kid.
I mean, we talk about him so frequently.
We'll get a picture after.
Okay, yeah.
And then we could Photoshop the Klaus Nomi triangle
suit
on both of us or something.
I can add you to the Button Museum and say, this is the Klaus Nomi kid.
I would love that. Put me next to the Klaus Nomi pin.
Yeah.
That'd be cute. I gotta ask you I know you said you don't really like superlatives.
Okay, no, that's good.
Top 3 favorite buttons you own.
Favorite buttons I own? It really changes based on, I don't know. I don't know what it's based on, but sometimes I just like find a new thing I'm interested in. Even if it's an old button, I'm like, I didn't see that. But buttons, top 3 buttons, I like Button Museum and Busy Beaver's collection, or just Busy Beaver? So the Button Museum has like 60,000 buttons, and Busy Beaver has like 100,000 buttons because we save one of every button we make.
Oh, true.
So, but I can do a little bit of both. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Well, gosh, like I like buttons in general that refer to themselves as buttons. So there's my friend gave me this button that said, I heart men whose shirts have a lot of buttons, which is really funny. But there's like, support your local button merchant. My button loves your button. If this button melts, you're in the middle of an atomic whatever. So definitely. And there's one person who placed an order, and I wish I could figure out who it was because this was like 20 years ago. And it just said, it was a big button, like a 2 1/4, that had a lot of words on it because you'd have to get really close to read it. But it said something like, a little known fact about the button industry is that you get paid by the word, and then it's just all these words. And I wish I could figure out who ordered that because it was before, it was when our records, we didn't have as good a records as we have now. Mm-hmm. The last 20 or 15 years we've been you can order a button from 15 years ago if you wanted to, you know what I mean? If you were like, I ordered this 15 years ago. But so yeah, I've had, I don't know, there's so many great ones. I love this Carol Channing button I'm wearing right now.
Oh, I was going to ask about that. You mind if you describe to the...
Well, this does a thing, which I like it when the designers do this, but they use the shape of the circle as the thing. So this is sort of her head, or sort of her face. And there's a bunch of examples from the 20s, too, like flappers and that kind of thing. But, I love how it's just 3 colors. It's black, yellow, and red. And it just has her face and says Carol Channing on it.
That's cute.
Yeah, and she's just such a fun character. I really like her. So I'm like... of course I'll wear a Carol Channing button that's cutely designed.
Mm-hmm. Who's Carol Channing?
Oh, she, she must have been like a Broadway. Oh, she did Hello, Birdie. No, Hello, Dolly.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. And she just did some really like funny songs. Like she kind of do these kind of novelty, and she just has a cute voice. It's like high and kind of like, slurry a little bit in this really sweet way. So, yeah, she's awesome.
I gotta look into that.
Yeah. She's got this really funny song about housework, like that. It's like kind of making fun of the tedium of housework, but from like a housewife's perspective.
Ooh, love that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to listen to that.
It's funny.
What is, in the 3 decades you've been in business, the strangest order that you've received?
Strangest order? I don't know. I mean, we do, like, when you're, like, I consider us like a hub for people up to stuff, and it's a variety of things that people are up to. So we do a lot for the robotics, like First Robotics, which is like a school program where students come up with robots that do a thing. It's like an annual thing. Like, these robots need to do these 3 things or 5 things. So the students all make robots that do those things, and they have competitions. So those are kind of interesting from the perspective of every button is individual. And it's like, gosh, it's like probably 60,000 buttons. So each button is unique. So from a manufacturing standpoint, that's one of our weirder orders. But in a similar vein, we do buttons annually for a weightlifting competition that each weightlifter has their own number on their button. So they wear it on their, like, I don't know, lower half, like bottoms or whatever,
so
like those like bikini bottoms or whatever. And that one's kind of a funny one. We did an order once for Lawrence Weinberg. Am I saying that right? He's like the or godfather or something of conceptual art. And that was kind of wild because I was like, I didn't know who he was, and someone working there was like, oh my gosh, we're doing, like, they were an artist. So that was kind of a long trip. But we do a lot of buttons for, like, kind of people you have heard of probably, and a lot of people who are, like, smaller. Like, we did, like, Maya Rudolph used to have a band, or she might still, called Princess, which is like Prince cover songs. So we used to do Princess buttons.
That's so sick.
Yeah, it's really cool.
In your opinion, what do you think is, like, how many buttons is too many to wear at once?
At once? I mean, back to those robotics, the students that would do it, they'll, like, make a armor out of buttons because they all trade them with each other. Like, each team will make their own button as well. So I think that's great. The more, it's like, talk about community. It's like these people are sharing these things and, like, welcoming them into, like, what they're doing in the group of the whole, So on a regular day, for me, I usually don't wear more than, like, 3 to 5, depending on the size. But, like, I often just wear 1. But I don't have any judgments about how many is too many.
I'm feeling like if it just adds too much weight to the clothes.
Yeah, if your clothes can not hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if your clothes fall off, it's too many.
What are some interesting innovations you've seen in the button world?
Yeah. Well, there's matte buttons, which instead of a shiny finish, they have a matte, like a soft touch finish, which are great. Like, I love those. Yeah. I love making the colors really, really, like, pop out in those.
The first time I saw that, sorry to interrupt, was the Chicago Printers Guild had one.
Okay, yeah.
Did y'all make those?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was wondering.
Yeah.
I really like that button.
Yeah, it's such a great. Yeah, it's such a great, like. It's, when people get them, they comment on them usually. So it's like it makes that shareable part, like, a little extra special, Glow in the dark is a thing that we do.
Ooh.
That we developed. It's like other people don't do it.
That's a Busy Beaver exclusive right there? Okay.
Yeah. Metallic buttons, which haven't been as popular as they used to be, but that was a Busy Beaver exclusive too, where we just like printed on transparency so you could see the metal of the button, through. Yeah, those are, I mean, there's so many things you can do with them. Like we already have mirror backs, so instead of like a pin in the back, it's like a mirror, and you can just like put it in your bag and be able to look at whatever.
That's cute. Yeah.
Bottle openers, I don't know, lapel pins, like where, so you don't put a pin through your clothes, you can put like a little magnet on the opposite side.
Oh.
So we do those sometimes for like fancier events. Button-o-matic is awesome. And then we've been doing a lot of making buttons on the spot at conventions and stuff like that. We did it for the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets.
I'm not the person to
Okay.
ask.
Whatever that sports team is in Brooklyn. So yeah, that's been kind of a fun one too, because then you get to actually talk to people who are making buttons, who
true.
are like, you're making one for them, like a one-off.
I feel like that's really important for younger people as well.
Mm-hmm.
I like the process is so like fun too, and I feel like for them to see that and witness that, it really drives that creativity, like how you said.
Yeah, and it's like, it's cool to see kids go through think through like what they want on a button, So they're like, oh, I'm gonna do my cat. Oh no, I'm gonna do I love you, Mom. And then they're like, they just kind of go through what they want to do, and usually when they have a lot of ideas, it's like, let's make a few,
Mm-hmm. Have y'all ever made like fuzzy buttons? Is that a thing?
Fuzzy buttons. Yes, we have. It's like, it's a little difficult to do, and you kind of almost have to manually press those. But we did for the Whitney Museum in New York. They wanted to do these special little art products. So they sent us a bunch of like furry things, and we made buttons out of that.
Oh.
Yeah, they're actually really cool buttons too.
I would love to see that.
It's just a fluff of fur, pinned on.
What is the largest button you've made?
Well, okay, so manufacturing-wise, 6 inch is the largest we have. So it's like that big.
Mm-hmm.
It has a pin on the back. It has an easel, so you can put it by your bedstand.
Mm-hmm.
And also a hang hole, so you can put it on the wall if you want to. So it's got But I will say the biggest button we have that we only made one of is our sign out in front. It's a 3-foot button. And it's actually a button. It has like a pin on the back and everything.
Oh, that's so sick.
And so we had the sign maker make it. But I figured out the math. It was something like, if it was on the Statue of Liberty, it would be a 1 1/4 inch button. So it'd be a little smaller than this one.
That's so cool.
So yeah, that isn't in the world's records, but anyhow, it doesn't matter.
I looked it up. It was like a 8-foot button or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, and it's not even a button. I don't know if you saw that.
It looks more like a sculpture. It's kind of like thick.
It doesn't have a pin in the back, which I feel like
I feel like y'all should contest that.
Well, I think the Eisenhower Museum. I think they just put a big sign out in front, and I think it's actually a button.
Oh wow!
So I support that.
Okay. Let them have this one.
Yeah.
Y'all have the Guinness World Record of largest button collection, right?
Yep, in the museum. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that was cool too, because they reached out to us, and it wasn't something that I applied for.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was on my list of things to do for like 7 years, but they reached out to us.
Can you talk a little bit about the museum? Like how did that get started?
Yeah, I mean, I always had a few buttons like in a collection, but probably in 2000 and I can't remember, 8 or something like that, we started like collecting them in earnest. And then my brother, who's like, has a collector's brain, like he collects musical gear. Mm. He he started getting on it too. And so we amassed this collection, and enough so that we could make a display on the wall. Like we had, I think, like 6 or 7 displays on the wall.
Wow.
And then we just kept collecting, because the goal is to tell as much American history as possible through pinback buttons. So it's pretty much any button can do that. And, from like traveling to the moon to a family reunion to, like presidential elections, it's like, it's all over the place. So yeah, that's fun. It's so much. There's a librarian that works there. And it's a 501c3, so it's like a separate entity from Busy Beaver. We've gotten a lot of donations over the years since it's been officially a 501c3. And a lot of people have buttons, but they don't always have, people don't always want to keep them forever, And like we had this woman who in Detroit did a lot of social justice work. She was a nun. And from the 60s to the 90s, she was really active. And she brought us her whole collection from her, like, life's work.
That's so sweet. I
know. And it's just, like, what an honor it is to, like, house this human's really important life, I'll cry even thinking about it. But so, yeah. So the Button Museum, and we're part of, like, collectors' communities and stuff like that too. So we're always accepting donations, and often I'm looking for specific ones. So the donations usually don't have the specific ones. We're like looking that we have holes in our collection, but sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And what's the smallest a button can be?
Well, we can make a 7/8, but that's a manual machine. We just got it for a friend of mine. He wanted us to make them for him. But that's the smallest one I know of that still works. But in history, I've seen in the Button Museum, I've seen 1/2-inch buttons, which are teeny.
Whoa.
They're so small.
That's so fun. For what?
What were some of them? I know that there's some that are like a Bible camp or something like that. I'd have to look. I've seen a union one that's really teeny, like a union dues for people paying their union dues.
I see.
But those are usually bigger. I don't know. There's some that are just red dots, and I don't know exactly what they're for, but I think they're for putting they're somehow to make a mark on a map or something. That's my guess. I don't know. I should ask the other collectors. Because the collector community is a bunch of men in their 70s. And it's like the president of it's called APIC, American Political Item Collectors. And the president of it just came by last week. And he asked me, he's like, guess what the average age is of the APIC? And I was like, 68. And he's like, 73.
Wow.
I was like, oh, shoot. So we need some young people if you want to be a button collector.
Why not? I read, too, I think there was a part of an interview you were talking about. It's very political focused, right? And every other kind of button is labeled non-political?
Yeah, correct.
So has that changed?
Yes.
It has?
I am happy to report. Yes, it has. It's our whole thing. My friend Ted, who I did the book with, Button Power, we wanted to create a popular culture chapter within the APIC. So since buttons are the most commonly collected political item, with these collectors, like a lot of, I'll just say non-political right now, but a lot of non-politicals go along for the ride. So we were like, let's make a popular culture chapter and start calling them pop culture buttons instead of non-politicals. So I will say that they started saying that the conferences were political item and pop culture items. So it's like even what they call it is big. And then I've also, in people's booths where they're selling, there's often a popular culture little tab, so you can, so it's like I'm seeing some changes. But it's also because, that collectors group is aging and they want to start appealing to younger people. So
I think that's a good step forward.
Yeah.
Aside from the business part of Busy Beaver, do y'all do any like community focused events and workshops?
We did something at Chicago Chicago History Museum, where they were having like social causes of the 60s and 70s. So we would go and we made buttons for that. This was like a lot of kids and stuff. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
That apart from the business side of Busy Beaver, do y'all do any community-focused events and workshops?
Yeah, besides, we also will put buttons on loan for different shows. So, like, there are some libraries that, like, we're doing, like, an MLK Junior Day. And so we'll borrow some buttons to that. We also help with fundraisers for organizations like Crossroads, and where if they have auctions, we'll give them stuff to auction off, or like the book and buttons and stickers, like gift certificates.
I recall y'all doing like a Yolicali hosts the anti-Valentine's Day party, or like for their events you would have like a workshop.
Yep.
In the museum, right?
Yeah, I love doing that too. I love going and making buttons with people, as part of an activation for, like, we did something recently with People's Action Coalition too, for their big building opening that they had. We do every month. We do something with Creative Mornings. I don't know if you know of that, but it's for a lot of designers, but a lot of creative people. Once a month, they have a speaker based on a certain theme that's happening all over the world, like all the chapters of Creative Mornings, which I don't know how many there are, but probably 100 or more.
Wow.
And so every month, we go to that and make buttons on the spot. So that's really fun, too. It's like in the morning, on a Friday morning, so it's cool.
I love that.
Yeah, the speakers are awesome, too. It's like, it's hard to leave there without being inspired. Like, every time I've been to it, I'm like, oh my gosh, these people are so great, and the speaker was awesome. So,
are there any new developments for the Button Museum at the time?
Right now, our biggest goal is always to add to the website. So the collection has like 60,000 on display. If people come, which we get like at least 15 visitors a week, the website gets like 100,000 visitors a year or so. So our biggest thing is always adding to the collection on the website. So like right now there's 10,000 up on the website. And, if we don't need to digitize all 60,000, but, we have a long way to go. Mm-hmm. And, there's a couple projects I'm always working on. Well, not always, but I probably have like 3 projects I work on with an intern every year. So we did a big acronym one where it's like all these old buttons would have acronyms on them, and you wouldn't know what it was. So I've seen that. Yeah. So that's kind of fun. I want to do one on this this button company called UUU, which is Urban Underground Uplift Unlimited. And it was, this guy is super interesting. His name's Randy Wicker. And he, in the 60s and 70s, made these countercultural buttons. Mm. And people would sell them around the country, too. But he had a little shop on St. Mark's Place. And it all started off because he did a lot of what was called gay rights at the time. He did a lot of gay rights activism. And he's a super interesting guy. And now he kind of holds the legacy and a lot of the materials of like Marsha P. Johnson. And he's just, super awesome. So I want to do a whole thing on Randy Wicker.
Awesome.
So that's one of the next things.
That'd be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
When you were a kid, did you imagine yourself like being so passionate about buttons? And
don't know. I love production. Like, I've always liked to make things and figure things out like that. I'm not surprised because, like, literally one of the first things I bought with my babysitting money was a Snoopy and Woodstock button. So I guess it's not, and I love design, and I, like people. So it's kind of makes, it all lines up.
I just wanted to thank y'all for the work that y'all are doing to archive buttons as well in the history. I think it's really cool and important.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, like no one else is doing it, so we get a lot of like fun attention our way, So it's cool. Thank you.
In 2018, in an article by the Chicago Tribune, you noted one of your goals was to make enough buttons that everyone in the United States could conceivably have one by 2030.
Oh gosh.
Are there any updates on this goal?
Well, we're probably at 65,000 or 65 million right now.
Wow.
So we still actually have a long way to go on that one too. If there's like 340 million people in this country, so wait, what is that? 280,000 more to go, or 280 million to go. I don't know. That's going to be a hard one.
Y'all could do it. I believe.
Thank you.
As our last question, before we cap off this wonderful conversation, what's next for Busy Beaver in the next 30 years?
30 years.
You don't got to say 30, but like in the coming years, you know, in the next chapter.
Yeah, well, we just went through a rebrand and like a website like refresh recently, and I'm so excited about it. It was something that I've been wanting to do for years, and with the pandemic and just other things needed more attention than that. So, yeah, I mean, I'd like to keep rolling out like a few items every year that we think would be helpful for people. And right now we're also building out so that we can have a whole sticker room. So that's the thing. I think it should be done by May of 2026.
Word.
So, yeah, I am really excited about that because we're packed to the gills right now. Like, there's no room in the whole office.
Well, that's very exciting.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, Christen. Congratulations again on Busy Beaver's 30th anniversary. I wanted to little plug here on Saturday, September 13th, which is in 2 weeks. There will be a celebration party for the momentous occasion. Hot damn, we're turning 30 at the Color Club. Will feature live music from Detroit's The Henchmen, Chicago's Sharp Pins, a sing-along with Amalia, thank you so much, Shields, and much more. More information about this event can be found at www.busybeaver.net.
Yep.
Anything I missed?
No, well, I mean, there's also a couple of other people who are going to be performing. There's 40 Plus Double Dutch, which is a customer of ours, and they do double Dutch, jump roping. So they're going to come, and it's all women over 40 who are part of the group, but anybody can double Dutch, they say. So that's going to happen. They might bring some hula hoops, too, for good measure. And DJ Essential Logic, who is Catherine Wilson, who's worked at Busy Beaver, just a friend. She has some deep cuts on music. You guys could probably have a good conversation about deep cuts and stuff.
We'll keep them in touch.
And we'll be making buttons on the spot, so people will get to do that. Wilderness Club are going to have a special cocktail that has chartreuse in it, and it's a local maker. They just started making it. And there'll be like lots of little random stuff. There's Threadless is having an artist come so they can help make buttons for people, and it should be fun.
Word.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Okay. And we'll leave on a Guided by Voices song. How about that?